5 News starts now with breaking news.
This was a deliberate act of violence against innocent children and other people worshiping.
We begin with breaking news right now at noon. 2 children under the age of 10 are dead and over a dozen more hurt after a mass shooting this morning in Minneapolis. Thank you for joining us. I'm Morgan Wrigley. Here's what we know so far. Of the 17 injured in the shooting, 14 of them are children. Happened this morning at a Catholic school as they were wrapping up morning mass. Now we'll take a live look at the scene there right now. In just the last hour, Minneapolis police confirmed the shooter pointed his weapon into a window of the church before opening fire using 3 different guns. They say the shooter died after shooting himself. 3 children are in critical condition. The mayor of Minneapolis is calling the tragedy unthinkable.
Children are dead. There are families that have a deceased child. You cannot put into words the gravity, the tragedy, or the absolute pain of this situation.
The Minneapolis police chief also describing the scene this morning, saying the shooter barricaded 2 doors to stop victims from escaping.
The shooter approached on one side of the church building, and on that side, at least 2 doors, it appears there had been like a 2x4 placed.
Officials confirmed the shooter killed himself on the scene. They've not determined his motive. They described him as early 20s with no criminal history. This is a breaking news story, and we'll be bringing you the latest updates online and on air as we learn more.
Well, right now in Fort Smith, 76 degrees with a mostly cloudy to cloudy sky, dew point of about 60, so it feels pretty comfortable out there. We are starting to see a little bit of rain move in from the west. Here's a live look at satellite and radar. You can see just on our western edge here a little bit in LaFleur County, and eventually will make its way here during the later afternoon hours for us. You can see some pockets of some yellow and orange there, so some moderate rainfall is possible for us. So we'll show you that rain timing here for northwest Arkansas. Be anywhere from about 30 to maybe as high as 40% later this afternoon. We'll dip a little bit. Then you notice this rise overnight. That's because a bigger storm complex will come in during the overnight hours. For the River Valley, again, about 40, maybe as high as 50% later this afternoon. We'll dip a little bit and be pretty quiet for much of the overnight hours and start to rise later during the night hours as that rain moves from north to south. And overall for tomorrow, again, I would be shocked if you didn't see rain tomorrow. We're expecting area-wide rain, heavy rain at that. And then after Thursday, things are going to drop off for us, and Labor Day weekend is looking gorgeous. But again, with tomorrow's rain chance, we could see some flash flooding, and I'd expect that, yeah, at least everywhere, probably see an inch of rainfall. So make sure that umbrella and raincoat is handy as you head out the door tomorrow. We'll talk more about the specific timings and the amounts of the rainfall and get you ready for the rest of the week coming up in your full forecast. Morgan.
Thanks, Danny. University of Arkansas police say the false active shooter report on Monday was a powerful reminder of how to respond in a real emergency. The alert that went out to students and staff warned them to avoid, deny, and defend. Assistant Chief Matt Mills with University Police say that specific phrase is a critical safety response that everyone's expected to follow. He says training for avoid, deny, and defend is available on YouTube, and professors can share this directly with their students. But Mills says that they are looking at ways to get this message out more frequently. And police are still investigating where those reports came from and if they're connected to similar incidents nationwide. And of course, many students and staff are still processing the mental and emotional toll of what happened on Monday. In response, the university's expanding mental health support this week. Drop-in hours for counseling are offered for faculty and staff today, and for students every day the rest of the week from 2 to 4. You can find details about locations on the university's social media, and students and staff can also call that number at the bottom of your screen for 24-hour support. Well, newly released body cam video shows what Kermit Acosta told investigators after he shot and killed Brad Jones in Lavaca last month. Investigators say the 2 men had been arguing over payment for cabinet work. Acosta told police he felt threatened when Jones and another man blocked his truck and refused to leave. Acosta says he pulled a gun from his vehicle, but claims he didn't want to use it.
I had no intentions of shooting this guy, man. I was hoping to just scare him. Okay. I was hoping he'd just call me a crazy. You know, it'd be like we did before.
A special prosecutor ruled the shooting was legally justified, saying Acosta reasonably believed he faced an imminent threat. The family of Brad Jones is now suing Acosta in a wrongful death lawsuit. Meanwhile, in Sequoyah County, quick thinking saved a life when an assistant police chief pulled a man from a burning car on I-40. Stigler Assistant Police Chief John Vale had only seconds to save a life. While driving his patrol car on I-40 between Sallisaw and Muldrow, he saw a driver speeding past him, weaving dangerously between two semis. The car crashed into the nearby woods, and Vale quickly pulled over and sprang into action, while another bystander rushed to help as well.
I'm so thankful for somebody else to be there, strong young man, and that was able to grab the other arm, and the both of us jerking were able to work him free and get him out and pull him to safety.
The assistant chief says he hasn't been able to find the man he saved, but a trooper says he was flown to a hospital and was expected to survive. Well, the search for a missing New Orleans boy has come to a tragic end. The body of 12-year-old Brian Vasquez, a nonverbal child whose disappearance gained national attention, has now been found. Now questions are mounting about the police response after he went missing. After 12 days of searching, crews with the United Cajun Navy recovered Brian's body Tuesday. But hours later, New Orleans police served a search warrant at his family's home, asking for his mother's cell phone as part of an investigation into whether she failed to report him missing. The family says she contacted police multiple times the day Brian vanished and believes the warrant was unjust.
The New Orleans Police Department gave a search warrant for Hilda Vasquez's cell phone. It is not for child abuse. It is one count of failure to report a missing child.
New Orleans police say no arrest warrants have been issued, but confirm they're reviewing their response, including a 5-hour delay after the family's first 911 call. Well, Federal Reserve Governor Lisa Cook is moving forward with a lawsuit challenging President Trump's unprecedented move to fire her. This comes as the president says he's working on a comprehensive crime bill as he seeks to expand his anti-crime crackdown nationwide. Natalie Brand reports from Washington.
During a marathon cabinet meeting which set the record for the longest at nearly 3.5 hours.
We want to be open, above board. We want to be honest with the media.
President Trump defended his decision to try and oust Fed Board Governor Lisa Cook amid his push to get the central bank to lower interest rates.
She seems to have had an infraction, and she can't have an infraction, especially that infraction, because she's in charge of, if you think about it, mortgages, and we need people that are 100% above board.
CBS News has obtained the documents included in a letter to the Department of Justice by the head of the Federal Housing Finance Agency, who has accused Cook of mortgage fraud. They show Cook purchased a home in Michigan in 2021 before she joined the Fed, then another in Georgia that same year, declaring both as her primary residence, allegedly to get better mortgage rates. The Justice Department opened an investigation last week, but no formal criminal charges have been brought.
I would go on leave until people resolve the matter. And the fact that she's not doing that now suggests that she's being partisan.
Cook's attorney says they will be filing a lawsuit arguing the president's attempt to fire her based solely on a referral letter lacks any factual or legal basis.
President Trump also used Tuesday's cabinet meeting to tout a drop in violent crime in Washington, D.C., and said Republican leaders in Congress are working on a major crime bill.
I think crime will be the big subject of the midterms and will be the big subject of the next election.
And while the president has threatened to send National Guard troops to other cities, he has also suggested he'll wait for Democratic governors to ask him for help first. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
Democratic leaders, including the governor of Illinois, have said they would challenge the president in court if he sent troops to their cities. Wildfires are starting to ease in the West, but storms are triggering flood warnings for millions. This is the same weather system that brought a massive dust storm to the Phoenix area Monday, forcing drivers to pull over. The extreme weather has been equally challenging on the fire lines. In Central Oregon, the Flat Fire has burned more than 23,000 acres and is still threatening thousands of homes.
Fire season isn't over, but it is very possible that we could have, a few more fires before, October.
Firefighters are taking advantage of cooler weather to strengthen containment lines before the heat and the wind return in the coming days.